She screamed at me in Starbucks for 20 minutes. Complete Karen mode. Manager, corporate, police. This black woman stole my laptop. Phones were pulled out, people were gawking. I was going viral. Again. Except I'm a federal judge, and she was aware of it because 3 hours earlier, I'd sentenced her husband to 15 years for fraud. This wasn't racism. This was payback. And I was about to teach her what real consequences feel like. My name is Judge Amara Williams, 41, Federal Court, Manhattan. I sentenced Marcus Henderson this morning. White, rich, Ponzi scheme that destroyed 300 families, Black and Latino predominantly. His wife, Melissa, was in the gallery. Designer, blonde highlights, cold eyes. I read her the sentence, 15 years. She didn't cry a tear. She smiled. That was my first warning sign. Lunch break. I shed my robes, jeans, Howard University sweatshirt, natural hair out, no makeup. Just me, not Judge Williams, just Amara. I walked into Starbucks at 42nd, ordered my usual beverage, sat down with my computer to review case files. That's when Melissa walked in, saw me. I saw her see me, and something flashed across her face. Recognition. Then, calculation. That woman stole my laptop. Her screen cut through the cafe. Everyone froze. Excuse me? I snapped back, confused. That laptop, that's mine. I left it here 20 minutes ago and this woman stole it. The barista rushed over. Ma'am, are you sure? She just sat down. Are you calling me a liar? I know my laptop. That's a MacBook Pro with a sticker from Yale Law. Examine it. My laptop. My Yale Law sticker. 15 years ago when I graduated. This is my laptop. I've had it for 3 years. Liar. You people always lie. Call the police. You people. And there it was. The manager came over. White guy, mid-30s. Discomforting. Ma'am, why don't we just check the serial number? Clear this up. I am not showing my personal property serial number. This is my computer. See? Shrieked Melissa. She's not cooperating because it's stolen. Call 911 now. There were other customers taking video. I could see the headlines. Black woman refuses to claim ownership, gets arrested at Starbucks. Another viral hit. Another hashtag. Another reason my mother was calling me in tears. The manager pulled out his phone. I'm sorry, but I have to call the police. And I realized why Melissa wanted this. Wanted me arrested. Wanted me humiliated. Because I'd humiliated her husband in court. So I let it go. I just sat there, quietly, calmly, watching Melissa perform for her audience. I can't believe this. In broad daylight, these people have no shame. These people again. 2 officers arrived, 1 white, 1 Latino. What's the situation? Melissa pointed at me like I was some sort of criminal. That woman took my laptop. She refuses to return it. I want her arrested. The white police officer stared at me. I could see it in his eyes, that snap judgment. Black woman, hoodie, accused of theft. He'd already made up his mind. Ma'am, could you please give proof of purchase for that computer? Can she prove it's hers first? She claimed that it was stolen, so we would like you to verify ownership. This is how it goes. The accuser does not need evidence, just self-assurance, just whiteness. The accused needs receipts, paperwork, clean conduct. I don't carry my receipt with me. I can open it, show you my documents, my name on the computer. That's not ownership. You may have broken in. Melissa was beaming. See? She can't show it because it's mine. The Latino officer shifted uncomfortably. Ma'am, maybe we ought to arrest her. Do your job. Or are you afraid because of, the demonstrations? She'd said it out loud in front of 30 witnesses. Are you afraid because she's black? The white officer tightened his jaw. Ma'am, I'm going to need you to go with us. We'll sort this out at the station. I stood up, 30 phones capturing, loading tomorrow's viral video. Officer, before you arrest me, I have a legal question. Have you ever arrested someone for taking something that's their own property? Ma'am, don't complicate things. I'm asking a legal question. Humor me. He sighed. No, you can't steal what's yours. Right, so if this laptop belongs to me and I have evidence it's mine, then this woman is filing a false police report, right? If you can prove, I can. I opened my laptop, brought up a folder that read, Federal Cases, Confidential. The cop's demeanor changed. Wait, what is? My name is Judge Amara Williams, Southern District of New York, Federal Court. I sentenced this woman's husband to 15 years in federal prison. Total silence. This is not theft. This is revenge. This is a false police report. And this is a hate crime. Melissa blanched. I thought... You thought what? That I wouldn't know you? That I'd be so scared of being arrested that I'd just leave? I addressed the crowd. 30 phones still rolling. Let me explain what just occurred. This lady noticed me, outside of robes in street clothes, and concluded I was someone she could hurt, someone who wouldn't resist. She armed your prejudice, knew you'd believe her over me, knew you'd demand proof from me, not from her, knew that black woman plus accusation equaled immediate suspicion. And she was right, wasn't she? The white cop went pale. But see, this is something she didn't know. I reached for my phone, dialed a number, held it on speaker. Is Judge Williams, is everything all right? My clerk's voice tinkling out of the phone. Young. Efficient. Sarah, I want you to call the U.S. Attorney's Office. I'm at Starbucks on 42nd. I want them to get someone down here right away. False police report, hate crime, retaliation against a federal judge. Right away, Your Honor. I hung up, either gazed at Melissa. You wanted to humiliate me? Well, congratulations. You just committed a federal crime in front of 30 witnesses, everyone recording. Melissa started to cry. I didn't intend. I was angry. Marcus doesn't deserve 15 years. Your husband bilked 300 families, single moms, old couples, folks who trusted him with their retirement funds. He deserves each second of those 15 years. But this, I gestured around the cafe, this show, calling me a thief, racial stereotyping to equip cops to target me, that deserves its own punishment. The Latino officer found his voice. Ma'am, Your Honor, we didn't know. I know. And that's the problem. You didn't know who I was, so you took a guess, believed her, demanded my proof. What if I wasn't a judge? What if I was just Amara, a black woman trying to get coffee? Would I be handcuffed now? Neither officer answered. They didn't have to. The U.S. attorney came, Margaret Chen, stinging. No nonsense. Judge Williams? I answered right away when I heard this. Margaret, this is Melissa Henderson. 3 hours prior to this, I'd just sentenced her husband, and now she's filed a false police report, intimidation of a witness, and whatever I deem to be a hate crime. Margaret's eyes turned cold. Mrs. Henderson, you're under arrest. Melissa's crying became louder. No, please, I made a mistake. I was emotional. You were calculated, I interrupted. You saw me, identified me, and decided to use racism as a means. That's not emotion. That's foresight. The cafe went quiet. 30 witnesses. Observing a white woman getting arrested for falsely accusing a black woman. The script
flipped. Someone started to applaud. Another. Next thing, the whole cafe was applauding. But I didn't feel victorious. I felt exhausted. Because this was my Tuesday. Later, my chambers. Margaret brought me the full report. Mrs. Henderson is being federally charged. False report to a law enforcement agency. Obstruction of justice. Hate crime enhancement. She's facing minimum 3 years. I glanced at the report. Melissa's mugshot. Sobbing. Annihilation of the cosmetics. Her spouse gets 15 years. Her, 3. 18 years total in jail because they wouldn't own up to it? Judge, you know she'll claim that she's a victim, that you're retaliating. Let her claim it. 30 people taped what really went down. The truth doesn't care about her crying. But this is the thing that keeps me lying awake. I'm a federal judge. I have power, resources, education, and I nearly got arrested for consuming coffee whilst black. What concerning the Amaras, who aren't judges, who do not have clerks one can call, who do not have U.S. attorneys on speed dial? They get arrested, charged, convicted, for being in spaces white women determine that they do not belong. The video went viral, of course. 10 million views within 24 hours. Hashtag Starbucks Judge trending around the world. Words flooded in. This is why we need body cameras. She knew she was lying. That officer trusted her immediately. But also, why didn't the judge just produce ID earlier? She racialized it when she did not need to. Both were at fault. And there you have it. Even with video proof, even with a federal judge, even with out-and-out lies. Both parties. 2 weeks later, Melissa's arraignment. She showed up in court, my court, dressed in a modest skirt, hair simple, no cosmetics. Mulling innocence. Her lawyer stood for her. Your Honor, Melissa truly regrets what she's done. She was upset, mounting her husband's incarceration. She made a terrible mistake. A mistake? I leaned forward. She specifically targeted me, identified me, armed racial bias. How was that a mistake? She intended to cause racial harm. Intent doesn't erase effect. She intended to destroy me. Racism was merely her choice of weapon. I recused myself, obviously. Cannot judge in one's own case. But I watched from the gallery. Judge Morrison, white, 60s, fair, sat. He scowled at Melissa, then at the video proof. Mrs. Henderson, what you did was calculated, cruel, and exposed a darkness in our society that we believe does not exist. You singled out a black woman and you chose her as your victim. Your weapon was racism. Your forum was public. Your goal was humiliation. 3 years in the federal pen, plus 3 years supervised release, and mandatory bias training. Melissa cried, "This is too harsh. I was wrong." "No," Judge Morrison quietly said. Judge Williams having coffee was not an error. You noticing a chance to hurt her was intentional. This sentence is a reflection of that. Outside the courthouse, reporters around the world. Judge Williams, how does it feel to be here today with this verdict? Relieved, tired, and still enraged. Enraged? Because I don't need to be a federal judge to be believed. My humanity doesn't need a title. What do you have to say to the people watching? I locked eyes at the camera. Racism isn't slurs and violence. Racism is women like Melissa, utilizing your bias as a weapon, knowing the system will take your word over ours. It's police who request my evidence, but not hers. It's witnesses recording but not intervening. It's individuals observing injustice and doing nothing. And until we put an end to that, until we stop demanding Black people prove we're innocent and begin asking white people prove their allegations, this will keep happening to judges, to mothers, to children. So stop recording and speak up. Stop observing and protect. Stop being a bystander to racism and become a barrier against it. That night, home, alone, I was lying on my couch, still in my robes, too exhausted to switch. My phone rang. Email from someone by the name of Marcus Johnson. Subject: Thank you. Judge Williams: I don't know you. I'm a 19-year-old Black kid from Detroit. Last year, I got arrested in a mall. A white lady accused me of stealing her purse. I didn't, but the police bought what she was selling. I spent 3 days in jail before the cops discovered her purse in her vehicle. No apology, no charges filed against her. Just mistakes happen. Your video crushed me. Because if it can happen to a federal judge, what chance do I have? But also, you stood up. You didn't stay quiet. You showed me how to turn the truth into a weapon. Thank you for being, for standing up, for living loudly. Marcus. I cried. Not tears of sadness, tears of exhaustion, the kind brought on by shouldering loads too long. Because Marcus is right. If it could happen to me, it can happen to anyone. And fighting back is wearying. Every single time. Last thought. I'm a federal judge. I make $220,000 a year. I have 3 degrees. And a white woman threatened to have me arrested for being in a Starbucks? I don't think you realize racism exists. If you don't believe it's calculated, if you don't believe it's weaponized, then you're not listening. Or worse, you're an accomplice. To the Melissas of the world, your tears don't wash away your cruelty. Your mistakes won't excuse your malice. Your privilege won't insulate you from accountability. Not anymore. To the Amaras, I see you. Being Black in a world that doesn't want you to exist is draining. Struggling for your humanity is draining. But you're not